Hello, my name is Sumin LEE. I am currently a coordinator at the Global One-Stop Service Center at Yonsei's Office of International Affairs. So today I will be answering your questions on part-time work permit for D-2 and D-4 visa holders.
What requirements do I need to work part-time in Korea?
For the qualifications for the part-time work permit, there are 3 conditions. So firstly, you must have a D2 or D4 visa. If you have a D4 visa, then you must stay in Korea for more than 6 months to apply for the part-time work permit. Secondly, your GPA must be more than C grade or 2.0 or above. Thirdly, you need to have a Korean proficiency level test score, TOPIK, KIIP, or Sejong Institute. Any one of the 3 is fine. So for students who are taking an all-English track course, such as majoring in UIC, GSIS, or Global MBA, don't need to submit a Korean proficiency level test score as long as they have a confirmation form that they are taking an all-English track course for their curriculum and an English level test score, such as TEPS, TOEFL, or IELTS. However, if the student's nationality has a mother tongue of English, then they don't need to submit the English test score.
What are some special cases where I can work part-time in Korea?
Firstly, there are 2 types of special cases. So the first type is when students do not need to apply for a part-time work permit. If the job is not continuous and you are only working for 1 day or just temporarily, then you do not need to apply for the part-time work permit. And if you are working on campus in the university in which the allowance is provided by a format of internal scholarship, then you also do not need to apply for the part-time work permit. The second case is the types of work that are restricted from working part-time. The first type is manufacturing and construction. This is restricted from the Ministry of Justice. However, if you want to work part-time in those types of industries, then you must submit additional documents so that the immigration office can decide whether they can accept or deny the application. Secondly, foreign language educational facilities for minors and underage students. For example, English Kids Cafe, English camps, academies, personal tutoring are strictly prohibited from part-time work permit. Thirdly, workplaces of special employment types such as delivery riders, courier services, and door-to-door sales, etc. also not allowed for part-time work permit. And lastly, dispatched work are also not allowed.
What do I need to prepare for my work permit?
So there are several documents you need to prepare first before coming to the Global One-Stop Service Center for my signature. Firstly, you need to sign the contract with your employer. Secondly, you need a business registration certificate of the workplace that you are working at. Thirdly, you need to print out an official transcript issued by our university. This can be issued from Yonsei portal. Fourth, you need to submit a part-time work of foreign student confirmation form. If you cannot find this template, then please visit the Global One-Stop Service Center and we can print it out for you. The next document is a Korean language proficiency level test scorecard. So for example, TOPIK, KIIP, and Sejong Institute. If you are taking an all-English track course curriculum and you do not have the Korean language proficiency score, please follow the procedures that I mentioned above, such as the all-English track course confirmation form and the English test score. And next, you also need to submit your alien registration card, both front and back, and also a copy of your passport. Lastly, you need to submit an application form, and the template will be provided by the immigration office, which you can also find on the Hi Korea website.
How do I apply for a work visa?
There are several steps to applying for the work permit. Firstly, you need to prepare all the documents that I just mentioned on question 4. Secondly, when you prepare all the documents, you need to visit our Yonsei Global One-Stop Service Center, which is located on Baekyang Hall S308. for the university verification on the confirmation form. I am in charge of the part-time work permit for D2 and D4 visa holders. If you need the signature, please come to me and I will sign it for you. Third step is when you get my signature on the confirmation form, you need to scan all the documents that you have submitted to me and apply to the immigration office for the part-time work permit. You can either apply online on Hi Korea website, or you can reserve a visiting time at Hi Korea and visit the immigration office personally and apply for the permit. And step 4, check your Hi Korea account on the website frequently to see if the immigration office has accepted or denied your application for the part-time work permit. If they have accepted, then you are free to work part-time on the working period that the immigration office has verified. If they denied, then you need to make the adjustments to your documents and visit the center and apply to the immigration office again.
I'm planning to change my workplace. Do I need to apply for permission again?
The answer is yes. If you change your workplace to a new workplace, or if you extend the working period of your current workplace, or if the working period of the part-time work permit that you have applied expires, then you need to apply for a new work permit and submit all new documents for that new workplace.
How long does it take to receive my permit?
I would say the time is different by person, but from my experience, I would say approximately 7 to 10 days, because a lot of students apply for the part-time work permit and the immigration office needs some time to look at all the documents and decide whether they'll accept or not. So please make sure to have enough time between the working start date and the day you apply to the immigration office so that you can get the permit before you start working.
What will happen if I forget to apply for a part-time work permission?
It will be very tricky because it is mandatory for all D2 and D4 visa holders to get the work permit first before they start working. The part-time work permit must be verified by the immigration office before you start your work. If you start working before you get the permit, then it will lead to serious penalties from the immigration office and the Ministry of Justice. So please make sure that you apply and get the work permit verified by the immigration office first and then start working. The most important thing is get the permit before you start working. This is very important. It is against the law, it is illegal employment to work first and then get the permit. So please make sure to apply for the part-time work permit first and then start your work. The second important thing is when you select the working start date, it needs to be 7 days after the day you apply to the immigration office, because the immigration office needs some time to look at the documents and decide whether they'll accept the application or not. So please make sure to have enough time in between. The third thing is when you select the working end date, it must be before your visa expires. Have a look at your visa expiration date and make sure to set the working end date before that expiration date. And lastly, when you apply for the part-time work permit, you can apply for a maximum of 1 year every time you apply for the permit. So if you have enough time until your D2 or D4 visa expires, then you can set your end date up to 1 year after your start date. So I hope this video answered all your questions. So if you have any further questions on how to apply for the part-time work permit or what kind of documents you need, then please don't hesitate to visit the Global One-Stop Service Center at Paegang Hall S308 or send me an email at istudent@yonsei.ac.kr and I will answer all the questions in detail. Thank you so much.